I think there's this delusion in society currently that, you can just kind of do nothing and you'll get famous, or that, you can just make Instagram posts and you get rich and famous and you'll live this like jet setter traveler lifestyle. And what happens that I see over and over again is people, quote, to try and become influencers, right, in the space, and they go in and they try and build their profile, and then they're really lacking a lot of monetization principles and basic business practices below the surface. They're really missing out on an ability to actually build a real lifestyle out of this thing that they're trying to do. It's a little bit delusional. And so, most of my friends that are at any decent level of success, they all kind of say the same thing. They're like, look, life's going to be more or less mediocre unless I make it awesome. And it's up to me to make it awesome. And I've always really resonated with that. And that, if you sit at home and you watch Game of Thrones, and there's anything wrong with Game of Thrones, but you can't expect to have these really stellar results without the performance. And so the military has this phrase, we don't rise to the level of our expectations, we fall to the level of our training, right? Jocko Willink talks about that in Extreme Ownership quite a bit, as well as Discipline Equals Freedom. And that's always resonated with me, because there's this idea that like, oh, if I just believe it, I'll become it. And yeah, there's something to be said for, okay, being the person you want to be right here, right now, in the moment. There's also something to be said for actionable results, right? And building the systems and having the fallbacks. And that's one of the big differentiators between success and failure is just like you would have a stopgap in stocks, right? You would set a running stopgap behind your stock position. That way, if there was ever a downturn, you wouldn't be overly affected by that downturn. I kind of recommend that people do the same thing with their life, right? Like, what's your stopgap? If let's say the economy tanked or everything collapsed, or you had a God forbid, some sort of medical situation, well, how far would you fall? And most successful people tend to set certain risk control mechanisms that allow them to actually take more risk, because they know that if everything went wrong, they would only fall to a certain degree. They wouldn't fall all the way down, right? It's like you wouldn't expect to jump out of an airplane without a parachute, expect to live. So, you kind of want to have the parachute there, or in this case, a little bit more of a trampoline. And what's cool with this trampoline is that if you use it correctly, you can actually use it to propel yourself upwards. So rather than just having a risk mitigation net below you, as you fall to that, you can actually use the rebound of that to propel you to a new height. And a good example of that is, just really basic things, to be honest, like lifestyle systems, right? Take having a morning ritual, evening ritual, consistent gym schedule, positive diet, high quality water, high quality nutrition, positive habits. These things all sound really obvious and really basic, but what you'll find is, number one is, as you put yourself under more and more pressure, those systems are going to serve you on the rise up. But not only that, they're also going to serve as a trampoline for you in the off chance that something goes wrong, in the off chance that everything falls down and collapses. You're going to have these systems as a fallback, and that's a really powerful thing. Because as you fall back on these systems, what you're going to realize is, whereas the average person would have completely collapsed and gone from 100 to 0, you're not going from 100 to 0. You're going from maybe 100 to 80 or 100 to 75. And then you could recover much faster, and then you can get back up to 100, 110, 120, 130 much, much quicker than you otherwise would have been able to. That's my biggest recommendation for people that want to be successful, is, again, don't set an expectation for yourself that you're going to rise to the level that you have in your mind all the time, because you're not going to. Because your systems aren't there to support that level of growth. Rather than focusing on this aspiration that you have, which, look, I'm a very aspirational guy. I like to do big things. I support people that do big things. And the best way to support yourself if you want to do a big thing is to actually focus on the systems aspect of it. So focus on the systems that are going to get you there, both the personal systems, the business systems, the relationship systems that you set up in your life, and start to really audit that and take a look at that and ask yourself, in a worst case scenario, what's your fallback? What's your fallback mechanism? How solid is that morning ritual that you have? How good is your sleep schedule? How good is that evening ritual? How good is your diet? How good is the water that you're taking? Are you putting other things in your body that you really shouldn't be, that are holding you back? What you're going to realize is, as soon as you start to optimize these things, your level of potential goes up, and you actually get closer and closer and closer to that aspirational goal that you have. So just a quick little rant on that, because I see a lot of people really aspiring to do great things, and I really want to see that happen on this planet. Because again, I always talk about this, like one day I'll be gone, and what you leave is what you leave behind, and that's a part of my legacy is maybe this lesson helps you, and I really hope it does. Audit your systems, take a look, get rid of anything that's holding you back, because you can have wishful thinking all day long, but the reality is you're always going to fall back to those systems that you've built, and everybody gets what they deserve, right? Like my mentor Ty Lopez always called this the deserve it factor, and the sooner you can really truly master that, what you'll realize is you're now in a position where your worst case scenario isn't even that bad. And what that's going to do is that's going to allow you to take much greater risks with your business, resulting in much greater upside, and honestly, just a more enjoyable, more fun, more exciting life. So there you go. It's been Mikhail with Hustle System, where art meets commerce. Lots of love for you guys. Peace.
Okay.
Oh,
Can we do the ending again?
yeah. This has been so look. Whether you are a student and you're just trying to set that path for yourself, like study systems, right? If you're a professional, well, optimize the way that you perform at work or in an executive capacity. And if you're an entrepreneur, really take a look at the business systems that you have and audit those, because those are the foundation. That's the fallback for your entire business. So that's just the reality of the situation. Hopefully this video helped you. This has been Mikhail with Hustle System. And if you haven't already, if you can do me a favor, if you can click the little bell down below this video so you can be notified when I upload more videos like this. I do this for you. Hopefully this made an impact for you. And comment down below, what is one thing that you do consistently that you found that really helps you in a worst case scenario? It might be a morning ritual, it might be a meditation, it might be a song that you really like. It might be, whatever that thing is for you. Comment down below, click the notification bell. I'm really excited to help us achieve a lot of success together. This is Mikhail with Hustle System, where art meets commerce. And I will see you in the next video.